what is it like to ride a folding bike, and is a folding bike good enough to be your only bike? So is it comfortable enough, stable enough? Like, can you live without compromise on a folding bike, riding it everywhere? In this video, I'll show you what's good about them. So this is a Dahon Mu folding bike, and it's got 20-inch wheels, and we'll go over the specifications of it here. But first, I think to address the most important question is it as stable as a regular bike? Look at it next to this regular bike. You can see the tires contact the ground in roughly the same place. So it has a really long wheelbase. And that long wheelbase makes it surprisingly stable, even with a heavy set of tools attached to my handlebars, holding a camera in one hand and steering with the other hand, going across a bike path down this ramp, getting up probably over 20 miles an hour and dodging joggers and bikes. You can see how stable and in control I am. So now let's take a look at what's on this Dahon Mu bike. Now they have different levels of bike. This is the cheapest entry-level one. It's got a 7-speed transmission on it. You can get up to 11 gears on it. And this one's great going fast, but it could use a better hill climbing gear. So you might consider more gears if you were getting one of these. It's a 20 by 1.5 inch tire. So skinny enough, but not too fat. So you can be fast and still have grip. And then caliper brakes on it. Now some bikes do come with disc brakes, but you got to wonder if you're going to bend the disc when you're folding it up. And then you can look at the adjustable handlebars. So the handlebars rotate forwards and backwards, and they also telescope up and down. And there's a look at the Dahon branded twist grip shifter. So there's 1 gear in the front and then 7 gears in the back on this particular one. And it's a traditional 7-speed derailleur in the back. I kind of think an internally geared hub would be better in terms of folding it up and not beating up your derailleur. And then it comes with folding pedals as well. These are Well-Go folding pedals, so they fold down to make it just a little bit more narrow when it's folded up, and they still work great as pedals. The seat post goes way up and way down. So combined with the handlebars being able to go up and down, this will accommodate little short people and big tall people. That water bottle cage is a Velcro one that I bought separately. I'll put a link in the description. I like those on a lot of bikes that don't have water bottle cage mounts. And then you can also buy fenders for it and luggage racks. I'll demonstrate some at the end of this video. I ordered some and they should be here before I finish editing this. So you can carry some luggage on it. But because it's little and your feet are so close to the sides of the racks, I don't know if you can do saddlebags or not. We'll find out at the end of this video. And then a handlebar bag is a good way to go because the handlebars are so tall. So if you can get something that hangs on your side of it, it's still going to not interfere with your knees. And you've got a lot of room there to haul stuff if you want to attach it to your handlebars. And I have a 32-inch inseam. So this is what a guy with 32-inch legs looks like riding with that bag there. You can see there's plenty of clearance. And if we take a look at this frame, you can see there's no lower chainstay. It's just one big arc there, which means you could convert it to belt drive, or you could put an e-bike motor in there with belt drive, and you wouldn't have to break the frame to do it. So, there are also people who make a version of this. I think Priority Cycles makes a belt drive one already. I'll put a picture of it here. So this is the Priority folder. This is what a similarly framed bike would look like with a belt drive and then an internal 3-speed or 7-speed hub in the back. But what about top speed? Is a folding bike as fast as a traditional bike? In my case, I found the answer to be yes. It's got a good high gear on it. That's about all I need on the bike path when I'm pushing as hard as I can. And I actually did a little time trial here, and we'll just take a look at the results. Keep in mind that I'm in my 50s, I'm not clipped in, and I'm not aerodynamic when you look at these numbers. I went full speed north and then came back full speed south. So going north, 16.35 miles an hour, and then going south to compensate for any wind, I did 17.6 miles an hour. So that's really good for me to be able to go close to 17 miles an hour, 16.975 miles an hour on a little folding bike. And then my heart rate went up too, which is great. Having an average heart rate of 148 means I'm getting some exercise too. And this is what a 6'1", 200-pound person looks like on the bike. This is me with 13 size shoes. So tall guy with big feet, and the handlebar in the full upright position. I find it very comfortable. The bike is 32 by 15 by 27 inches when it's folded up. And to unfold it, you just fold it at the middle so that it's full length, and then put the kickstand down so you don't have to hold up the frame while you're doing everything else. Put the seat up where you want it, clamp it back into place, lift up the handlebars, and then there's a handlebar lock that you use to lock the handlebars into place. And then on the top, you just rotate the grips to where you want them, clip it into place, put the handlebar at your desired height, and then fold the folding pedals out flat, and you are done. And here's what it looks like folded up in the back of the Prius. So it's thin enough to fit under the cargo cover, and then I still have half the space in the back of my car that I can use for groceries or other stuff. So very compact and perfect for this use case. And on the scale, it comes out pretty light for what it is with all those hinges and stuff. It is under 26 pounds. You see 25.82 pounds there on my luggage scale.
And here's what it looks like if you put a fenders and a rack on it. I bought these both directly from Dahon. So you can see the fender just has a connector in the middle that holds it onto the fork, and then one strut in the back that holds it on, and then the other fender connects on down at the bottom and then in the middle, and then has a couple of struts. And you can see how high that rack is. That's an extra tall rack. A lot of the racks come shorter than that, but I wanted to really be able to haul some luggage. And so the concern with luggage is I'm going to have to kind of mount it high and backwards. So if you're planning on doing this, you want to kind of measure where your foot's going to sit. Like get your shoe. That's a size 13 shoes. I'm like a clown. So your feet might be smaller, but figure out where your foot's going to be. And then before you permanently attach luggage to it or purchase luggage, make sure that you're going to have the clearance. I think I can do it with this one if I mount it kind of far back. Or a much cheaper, easier option, you can see this is just kind of a generic bike basket. These are 20 or 25 bucks. And if you rotate the handlebars down, the cables will get out of the way enough to allow you to put that basket on the front. So that's another easier, much easier option than installing a rack on it. And even with that monster luggage rack on it, it still folds down pretty small, still fits in my car. So I'm not giving up too much by going with the big rack versus the little rack.